Make up mine. Fight.
Can I get one kill with every damage-dealing weapon in Team Fortress 2? That's the question for this video. Recently, I was reached out to by a fellow TF2ber by the name of Lennox asking me to fill out a survey for one of their videos. I did, and decided to check out some of their content for posterity's sake. I actually really enjoyed it. It's got a really earnest charm that I appreciate, just someone who likes the game. That said, one of their videos was a self-imposed challenge, attempting to get one kill with every weapon in the game. I really enjoyed this video in particular, and I asked Lennox if they'd be cool with me doing my own version of it. They said yes, and here we are. I then spent the next day and a half working away at this challenge. The rules for this challenge are simple. I have to get one confirmed kill with every TF2 weapon capable of dealing damage. Things like assists, finished off kills, or environmental kills do not count. I have to see the weapon's kill icon in the kill feed. That said, damage over time kills like Afterburn and Bleed are allowed, as are post-game humiliation kills. Additionally, I only need to get one kill with each multi-class weapon, so I don't need to kill someone with a shotgun or pistol on every class they're available to. We also won't be getting kills with reskins for this video, as that would just be kind of redundant and bloat the challenge. I can save multi-class weapons for whatever class I feel will be the most easy to obtain them on, and taunt kills are fair game on whatever weapon they're available on. Lastly, I'm allowed 3 2-4 SOSs throughout the challenge, where if a specific weapon is proving to be particularly problematic or troublesome on proper game modes, I can go to 2-4 and grind it out against bad players on easy mode. At the end of this challenge, I'll be tallying how long each individual class took me, as well as the total in-game time for the challenge as a whole. As for my general attitude going into the challenge, I expected it to take a bit of time due to the fact that I'd have to use a lot of potentially gimmicky or non-kill oriented weapons. I particularly expected things like the Mantreads, Thermal Thruster, and Demo Shields to be especially problematic due to essentially being damage-dealing utilities. In addition, I'd be recording this on Skyle casual community servers, which have random crits disabled by default, so melee weapons would be significantly more difficult than they would be in proper casual. Otherwise, I bombed in fully intent on getting one kill with every TF2 weapon. This is my story.
Play ball!
Scout was a humbling opener for this challenge. Whereas I thought stronger offensive classes like him would be a breeze, I consistently found myself going negative in terms of kills and deaths as I doggedly tried to force kills in places where they just couldn't happen. I started out with pure stock Scout and actually immediately got a kill with the pistol before being absolutely mollywopped for the next few lives. It wasn't until 2 or 3 lives later that I secured a kill with the scattergun, and the pocket pistol wasn't too far behind. Due to me idiotically choosing to start this challenge on Barn Blitz attack with a team who couldn't push past the first point, these would be the only kills I got before requeuing. However, upon joining a Badwater server and crucially picking defense as my team of choice, things picked up. I very quickly picked up a triple whammy of kills with the Force of Nature, Bat, and Soda Popper, and after the match ended and we moved on to a team swap, the Sandman fortunately came very easily afterwards. After this, I exchanged a very funny trade with an enemy soldier for a kill with the backscatter. An eye for an eye, my good friend. Soon after came a kill with a shortstop on an unaware enemy spy, and to be honest, unaware enemy spies would go on to be the golden goose for this challenge. I got so many kills on wayward, out-of-position spies, but I made sure to check that each one was not a dead ringer after I got each of them. While it seemed like I was going to land a Boston Basher kill as well immediately after the shortstop kill, the sniper I was targeting seemed very interested in jumping to his death and getting killed by my team, and I embarrassed myself attempting a salty run back on a nearby soldier. The rest of the match went very poorly, with me finally scooping up a Boston Basher kill in the post-match humiliation against a medic. You might think that humiliation kills shouldn't count, but I'd say that if I won the match and it counts towards my strange counter, it should be allowed. Moving on to the next match, we were on Upward, which would go on to be something of a safe haven for most of this challenge. After not too long, I killed an especially daring Trick Stab Happy Spy with the Babyface's blaster, which meant we were good on Scout primaries. Later on, I beat an engineer to death with both the Sun on a Stick and the Atomizer, and somehow missed every single pellet I fired on a Girardi Scout with the Winger. Boy had Ultra Instinct for real. I then had another Winger kill narrowly stolen from me by a nearby Ambassador spy, before finally securing one on the same Scout from before. Shortly after, I had an intense elongated battle with a sniper and 2 medics, which resulted in both a Candy Cane kill and a second Winger kill for good measure. And would you believe me if I told you that my next weapon, the Fan of War, came immediately after this? No, seriously, what I expected to be an elongated, painful process actually turned out to be 2 very quick swings on a low health spy. I was convinced that this was a dead ringer, but nope, totally real kill. This is one of several times that the TF2 gods would throw me a bone during this challenge. Unfortunately, after this came what may have been the hardest part of the entire run, the Rap Assassin and the Flying Guillotine. I know it's a bit early to decisively declare something the hardest leg of the challenge, but trust me, you'll see what I mean. I like the Rap Assassin, but it's not exactly a kill-securing weapon. The Flying Guillotine, though, man, I don't think I've ever even gotten one of these things to unremarkable, so this would have been totally uncharted territory for me. The process of getting a kill with these two weapons took the entire rest of the upward match, an entire round on altitude, and then the first point of the very next altitude round for good measure. I am very bad with the Flying Guillotine. This challenge was getting dire, man. Luckily, I eventually managed to clonk a Pyro or the Rap Assassin ball when they were near death, stealing the kill from a nearby soldier and checking another weapon off the list. Finally, the Cleaver kill came after a narrow 1v1 with the soldier, and required me to soften him up with the short stop to secure the kill with the Cleaver. It was painful, but we had done it. So if we tally all of our scout footage together, and keep in mind that this includes time spent AFK in menus between rounds and respawning, then it took me 57 minutes to get a kill with every scout weapon. This was actually the slowest that any class in the entire run would be, so here's hoping that Soldier goes a bit better.
Give 'em hell, boys!
I don't know if you'd believe it, but the class designed to secure efficient kills on large groups of enemies kicked off to an immediately better start than Scout. I got a kill with the rocket launcher within 30 seconds of selecting Soldier, and would have gotten a few more had the round not ended. After this, I very quickly killed the same guy with the Cow Mangler, and then got a twofer with the original, which is not a reskin and is being counted. Kills with the Beggars, Black Box, and Liberty Launcher were similarly not far behind. Soldier's primaries, all in all, proved to be a very quick and painless process, with me clearing most of them comfortably in no time at all. Quick aside though, between the Liberty Launcher and direct hit kills, I managed to score a quick upset with a surprisingly easy Righteous Bison kill. Along the way, I also got a cheeky shotgun kill. After this came the direct hit and airstrike before the match ended. I managed to get a kill with every soldier primary and his most difficult secondary weapons in one match, leaving only his melees and remaining secondaries to scoop up. On a server without random crits, I expected melee kills on a class as slow as Soldier to be exceptionally difficult, but they were surprisingly easy with some smart rocket jumping and positioning. I managed to surprise this dripped out engineer with the shovel, and defeated a demo man in honorable combat with the pain train not long after. Then, immediately after scoring a totally unearned market garden, I obtained what may have possibly been the biggest upset of the entire challenge.
There'll be a little tab as his friends, and you should be able to join.
Hey, Fluffy. You wanna cry?
Not really.
I'm gonna make you.
A fringe Mantreads stomp on an unaware, disguised enemy spy. If God had been throwing me bones before this, then he just threw me a whole skeleton here and saved me a ton of headache. After this, I started getting a bit overconfident and decided to intentionally deal damage to myself to make kills with the escape plan and equalizer a bit easier. This did not go well and took quite a few lives before I was able to surprise a sniper with the escape plan. After this, my friend started joining the server, and I managed to kill a demo man with the equalizer before my booby buddy Slushy Prince game-ended me with their crossbow.
Go away.
Got his ass.
No. Yeah, fuck.
Later on, I robbed a kill from Pyro using the reserve shooter, leaving only the half Zatoichi panic attack and disciplinary action on Soldier. As things would have it though, I lucked into an invisible spy in the most wacky position possible, allowing me to secure a free kill with the panic attack. Things took a bit of a downturn after this, with a combination of some very talented players and a very obvious cheater on Skyle servers kind of slowing my progress. I decided to save the half Zatoichi for demo night, and spent the next several minutes throwing myself at enemies over and over again with the disciplinary action, which I've named Poison Cocktail for reasons. Then, after what felt like an eternity, I managed to get a kill on, of all things, a Dragon's Fury Pyro with it, ending my run as Soldier. So, with the same parameters set as Scout, my Soldier run was nearly 20 minutes shorter and half as many clips, lasting only 40 minutes when menuing, loading, and respawning are considered. This was a notable uptick in my progress, and I found Soldier to be easier in general, but there was still a lot of work to do. Pyro was next. Pyro was notable for this challenge due to the extreme variance in some of their weapons. Some would be absolute breezes, taking no time at all, whereas others took significant time sinks and investment. Luckily, things started off well, with a quick flare punch on a demo man, and then a W+M1 sweep into a scout and medic, quickly securing my first 2 kills. I was then utterly humbled by my friend and spy main, Spare Time BA. Princeton, I should let you know I am playing Flog Pyro, so if you're planning, only until I get a kill with the Flog.
What was that?
Following this, I experienced a double whammy of killing my friend Fluffy Space Owl with the flog, and consequently being unable to extinguish my aforementioned booby buddy Slushy Prince as a result. Gotcha. I can't extinguish you, I'm sorry. I can't extinguish you, I don't have air blast, I'm sorry. This way. Crouch jump. The TF streets are mean. A backburner kill against a very strange scout came not long after. The map then changed to PL Phoenix, which resulted in several uneventful lives as me and my friends tried to navigate this unfamiliar land. I spent several lives trying to force enemies into corners for a bootleg extinguisher kill with the fire axe, and finally managed to land one on a very unfortunate demo night. Also, random crits got turned on at some point. I unfortunately failed to record my scorch shot kill, but rest assured it was a very uninteresting posthumous kill that I did not deserve. Here it is in the kill feed for proof. I then melted a Razorback sniper with a degreaser before unfortunately allowing a bonk-happy scout to escape. And now, I want to show you guys, unedited, my entire run with the Dragon's Fury.
The Strucker, he has a weapon that's called Mwah. He did not like that.
Oh wow, that took a very short amount of time. You can't make this shit up. The same unfortunate demo night from earlier then attempted to rush my team again, resulting in the same fate as earlier, this time from the power jack. Me and a sniper then had an insane multi-layered 1v1, which was unceremoniously ended by his dickwad team not respecting our fight. Finally, in the post-match humiliation, I mollywopped an engineer with the sharpened volcano fragment. Immediately at the start of the next match, I secured a really stylish 3-weapon combo to get an extinguisher kill on a demo man, before securing a frankly anime-as-hell posthumous man-melter kill on a soldier. Now burn.
Oh shit, oh fuck him.
I was then repeatedly killed and styled on by the same demo man, which didn't prevent me from beating down Slushy Prince with the Neon Annihilator. I then killed my friend Fluffy Space Owl again with the Home Wrecker, and a demo man again with the Back Scratcher, putting me an arm's length of my goal. Then this happened.
Great and grand makes me Stacy. Yeah.
Fuck this game. Following a lengthy period of spam after this on Phoenix's last point, I managed to steal a kill on an unidentified enemy with the detonator, leaving only 3 pyro weapons. The third degree was no issue, and I was able to get a kill with it very comfortably after not too long. The hot hand, I'll be honest, I completely forgot about, despite just having made a video talking about it, and to break kayfabe a bit here, I had to jump back in after recording the entire rest of the challenge to get a kill with it. The thermal thruster though, this is when I had to cash my first 2-4 SOS. This thing was just a bit too janky, unpredictable, and a bit too unreliable for me to comfortably secure a kill with it on a real map. So I hopped over to a 24/7 quick respawn 2-fort server, and after a few attempts, I landed a very silly taunt kill to round out Pyro. All said and done, Pyro took a combined 47 minutes, somewhere between Scout and Soldier. They were noteworthy for their primaries and even melees being pretty painless, yet their secondaries giving me a lot of trouble. This doesn't bode well for our next class, who also has a few utility secondaries that I have to get kills with. On to Demo Man. Demo Man is a class I expected to be a little difficult for this challenge, as he's one of the ones I'm more conventionally bad at. I don't tend to stray too far from my established playstyles for him. That said, this section of the challenge kicked off in surprisingly easy fashion. I immediately scored a double kill with both the grenade launcher and sticky launcher by spawn camping at the start of the round, and both the iron bomber and bottle came in the very next life, in stylish fashion too, I must say. Equally stylish was this twofer with the Scottish Resistance and Claymore, 2 weapons I don't tend to use that often, yet were equally impressed with here. Following this rousing start, though, came easily the most embarrassing fumble of the entire challenge. You see, I equipped the Persian Persuader, which I don't intend to use often, not realizing that it lowers Demo Man's primary and secondary ammo to a single clip each. In addition, I didn't notice my ammo count on screen at the time, due to having a movie with friends playing on my second monitor, and spent several lives clueless as to why I was chewing through ammo so quickly. After coming to my senses, I switched off the Persuader for the time being, and quickly scooped up a kill with the Quickie Bomb launcher and lock and load. I then got what I'm not entirely certain was a kill with my loose cannon. It may have been a sentry, but I have no way to verify going back, so I'm going to count it. This left me with only melee weapons, the first of which I had on my radar being the Ullapool Caber. It only took until my immediate next life to kill a very unfortunate Pyro with it. I then got a really stylish and BM kill with the Persian Persuader in my very next life, after which I became motivated, securing a short post-match kill streak with the half Zatoichi. It's okay though, the first kill was during the round. Now, this put me at a bit of an impasse, as my only 2 weapons left were the Eyelander and the Skull Cutter. The Skull Cutter I was saving for last due to 3 additional technicalities we've yet to discuss. Demoman's shields. Demo shields absolutely can secure kills on their own, yet they each deal pitiful damage on their own, and are generally used to enable kills with his melees. Lennox worked out a strategy in their video where you double tap an enemy with the Skull Cutter, and then shield bash them to guarantee the shield kill, but I got 3 kills super quickly by accident.
It's from Mars.
Yeah, in the span of a single round too, I got a shield bash kill with each of Demo Man's shields, without even really intending to do it each time. Add that to the thrown bone count. Afterwards, the Eyelander kill came in the midst of a difficult skirmish, and a quick Skull Cutter kill was not far after. All in all, with the exception of the Persuader goof, the Demo Man section of the challenge was surprisingly easy, with all of my kills coming in the span of only 2 rounds. He only took a shocking 22 minutes to secure a kill with each of his weapons, and was all around an alarming breeze. Next up is Heavy, my main, and a generally easy class to get kills with, so surely my luck would keep up.
Cowards!
Well, surprisingly, Heavy wasn't completely free. This was mostly due to the circumstances of the match I was in. The enemy team I played against was pretty good, and they weren't letting me get away with silly stuff as much as I would have liked, but regardless, a minigun kill came almost immediately against an enemy scout, and in the next life, I got both a family business kill on another scout, and an embarrassingly sloppy Tommyslav kill on an unlucky Pyro right after. I then realized that I had no more damaging secondaries left to get on Heavy, so I decided to revisit an old enemy. Yes, I used the Buffalo Steak to smooth over the process of getting melee kills, so I guess I was technically wrong about it having no use cases. At least it isn't fucking medieval mode. Regardless, I started this effort by hitting a very funny flank and getting a double fist kill on a sniper and soldier. I then killed the exact same soldier with the holiday punch a few lives later, but he was a good sport about it. Soon after, I repeated my luck with the panic attack from earlier, and ruined an out-of-position spy's day with the Natasha before the round ended. I actually didn't get a single kill in the entire next round, thanks Brass Beast, before another unlucky out-of-position spy was killed on Dust Bowl 2. I then proceeded to gobble my meat and beat down some adversaries with the killing gloves of boxing. This left only the Holong Heater as the remaining minigun, and despite me recently gassing it up, it actually took me a bit to get a single kill with it. Again, this was mainly due to the enemy team knowing how to position themselves and me watching Superman Man of Tomorrow on another monitor with my friends, but after a few lives, I managed to steal an undeserved cheeky kill with the Dragon Gun. This meant that all I had left on Heavy was the remaining melee weapons. The Warrior Spirit thankfully didn't take long, and in fact didn't even require the Buffalo Steak, as all it took was one wayward out-of-position soldier to secure a kill. Similarly, I beat down an enemy Heavy pretty effortlessly with the steak-boosted Gloves of Running Urgently after only 2 attempts, and was then immediately melted by a Pyro for my very foolish eating spot. The eviction notice actually took a bit, which is sad because prior to Jungle Inferno, it was my preferred heavy melee. I kind of wish they'd make it purely melee combat focused rather than making it this awkward fast gloves light kind of thing. It took until the very last point of Dust Bowl for me to beat down a hapless Huntsman Sniper with it, and the Fist of Steel came my very next life, completing my Heavy journey. Heavy was disappointing. Sure, he's not exactly known for melee combat, but the disparity between how easy it was to get a kill with each of his primaries, contrasted against how long it took to only get a few of his melee kills, seriously had me reeling. I'm actually kind of thankful for the Buffalo Steak, as this would have been way harder without it. Regardless, Heavy took me 29 minutes, still a comfortable second place currently, but slower than I would have liked. After this, I actually took the rest of the night off to finish the movie with my friends and headed to bed. Let's see where the challenge picks up tomorrow with Engineer. Engineer was in an interesting position, both due to several of his weapons being multi-class and also due to sentries existing. I decided that, for him, I'd have to get one kill with both types of sentry and a melee kill with each wrench to make the challenge a bit more interesting. I started out on Bad Water Defense, which is usually Engineer Heaven, but to say I got capital F fucked at the start of this would be an understatement. I did get my requisite big sentry kill almost immediately, but everything else was slow going. I managed to get a Widowmaker kill at the very beginning of the next round, and then happened upon another unfortunate out-of-position cloak spy, earning me my stock wrench kill. It definitely took a few swings though. After this, a few overly aggressive sentry spots in a row, and maintaining building support for my team kind of caused me to lose some time, but I did scoop up a very silly bleed kill with the Southern Hospitality at the very least. I also tried to work some magic with the Jag, but oh, it's over for you. Never mind,
That Pyro disagrees.
Luckily, I got my revenge next life. Then I destroyed my sentry and used my allocated revenge crits to railroad the sniper with the frontier justice. And then things went sour. I did not get a single other kill on Engineer for the remainder of the Badwater match or my attempted next match on Venice, and due to my remaining choices being the Rescue Ranger, Pompson, Short Circuit, and Eureka effect, I decided it was time to cash my next 2-4 SOS. Literal moments after joining the 2-Fort server, I managed to get both a kill with the Eureka effect and a trade on an enemy spy for the Pompson kill. Again, an eye for an eye. After this, I had a very silly-pilled battle with an enemy scout, which resulted in a kill with the Rescue Ranger. Next life, I punched the life out of another spy with the Gunslinger. Following this, I set up a very BM mini-sentry outside of the enemy base, which allowed me to finally get a kill on the melee-happy Pyro with both the mini-sentry and the Wrangler. Yes, did you believe it took me this long to get a Wrangler kill? And then chased another Pyro to the grave with the Short Circuit, clearing out Engineer's leg of the challenge in no time flat. I'll be frank, Engineer was not fun. He's obviously designed around his building, so most of his weapons aren't explicitly built around getting kills on their own. I'm not very proud that I had to cash one of my 2-Fort tokens on him, but it is what it is. Either way, Engineer took a combined 30 minutes. Not great, but not terrible considering how badly it felt like it went. It definitely would have taken longer had I not jumped to 2-Fort. On to Medic. Medic was a class I was expecting to be excruciatingly difficult due to him being built even less around getting kills than Engineer. Plus, I'd have to balance getting kills and healing teammates in equal measure to actually do my job as the class. Luckily, due to his entire secondary slot dealing no damage, Medic only had 9 weapons I needed to get kills with, so either way, this shouldn't have been too difficult, right? Right? Well, Medic started out in a super rough spot. The stock syringe gun is absolutely terrible, full stop, and teammates aren't exactly apt to let their heal bitch secure kills that could go to their strange counters. Because of this, I spent the entire first round as Medic chasing kills on enemies, only for my teammates to unceremoniously steal them at the last moment. Then, very suddenly, the match started going really well, with me not only securing a triple kill with the syringe gun and the bone saw on a demo scout and Medic respectively, but also capping the cart for the round win. That was a nice dopamine hit. Following this though, things would get very bad again as my recording software suddenly crashed. This meant that I lost footage of a kill with the Blutsauger, and because I'm a man of integrity, I went in to get another one. To say that this next match on Pier was a test of my patience would be an understatement. Trying to get kills on Medic is hard enough, but between some very daring spies and an especially cracked Demo Knight, things were not going well. It took a ludicrously long time to find the flow in this match, but after a while, I did secure a Blutsauger kill on an out-of-position soldier. After this, the overdose kill came surprisingly quickly, which I was surprised by considering this specific weapon's distinct lack of goodness. I then managed to bully one of the more annoying spies on the enemy team into a nearby pool of water, at which point I pinned him down to the amputator for another kill. Things seemed like they were picking up, until they weren't. What followed was an entire rest of the match with no kills, with me just being relentlessly targeted by spies and Demo Knights along the way. Eventually, I realized that it just wasn't gonna happen here, and jumped ship to Upward. And luckily, things improved on Upward. When I say things picked up immediately, I mean it. So yeah, I got a kill with the Solemn Bow. Soon after, I found a sniper just being kinda goofy for a free crossbow kill. I also managed to juke an overzealous spy for an Ubersaw kill, leaving only the Vitasaw left on Medic. And thankfully, that Vitasaw kill didn't take long, as I had a very quick spat with another spy, earning me the final kill for this class. Medic was even less fun than Engineer. It might have just been the circumstances of the matches, as that Pier game was exceptionally rough, but Medic was the closest thing to a legitimate test of frustration I had recording this video. I see now why he's a healer and not a fighter. That said, Medic took 34 minutes, somewhere in the middle of every other class's time. Due to my team having 3 snipers and no spies after this, I decided to violate the conventional class order and try Spy next. And let me tell you, that was the exact right decision to make.
Let's settle this like gentlemen.
Spy went ludicrously well. The best out of every class, in fact. It's not even close. I'm just gonna fully lay my balls on the table here and say that Spy was the fastest by far, taking only 13 minutes to get a kill with every one of his weapons, sappers included. I think part of this is because of the enemies I was playing against. They weren't bad, but they were much less organized and attentive than the players I matched against on Heavy or Medic, and let me get away with some really bonkers stuff. In my first life as Spy, I got 2 backstabs to stock, killed a soldier with the revolver Sniper and successfully sapped 2 engineer buildings. That was 1 weapon out of each slot already cleared. In my next life, I juked a soldier with a dead ringer to get a free kunai stab on a demo man. After that, I got a double big earner stab on a sniper and Spyro, and then gunned down a frankly cartoonishly oblivious sniper with the Lagrange. He literally watched me disguise. It was at this point that I realized things were going too well and decided to handicap myself a bit. I switched to the red tape recorder in the Ambassador, expecting difficulties, only to immediately get a stab with the otherwise unrelated Spycicle and successfully stab a bunch of engineer buildings. I tried the Your Eternal Reward, but also got an instant easy stab. In my next life, I scored an Ambassador kill by taking mid-range pot shots into a large group of enemies. I decided I only had one thing left I could do to make Spy even remotely difficult. Try the Enforcer. Surely this would be difficult.
I can take it.
Fuck. I then got a second kill for good measure and proceeded to say this at the end of the match. I got 40 fucking points that round. How with only 16 kills? Next round, I got a double backstab, but then ate shit before I could use my Diamondback crits. Funny how things fell apart when I finally equipped a good gun. Finally, in my very next life, I outgunned a Mushroom Sniper for the final kill on Spy. So yeah, that was extraordinarily easy. I fully expected Spy to be one of the most difficult classes, but not only was he remarkably quick, his section was also virtually trouble-free. Again, it only took 13 minutes, menus and respawns considered. Let's see if our very last class, Sniper, can stack up.
Give him a gobful!
So I've made it no secret in past videos that Sniper is one of my worst classes, and this challenge did nothing to disprove that. Things started out as expected, with me getting a body shot with stock and then immediately getting backstabbed a few frames later, but I did manage to get a few kills with the Machina afterwards, which was cool. Following this, I managed to gun down an enemy sniper with the SMG, and then immediately killed a medic with the Kukri as the round ended. This completed full stock Sniper. This left me with only one unlockable secondary capable of dealing damage, being the Cleaner's Carbine. Spoilers, despite equipping it in my second round as Sniper, it'd be one of the last weapons I got a kill with. Next round, I went in with the Huntsman and the Shaw, and managed to land an incredibly fringe headshot on a Pyro after a few lives. This was earned. After this, I didn't take too long to get a kill with the Hitman's Heatmaker, popping a Heavy's head not long after equipping it. Soon after, I spent a ludicrous amount of time and lives attempting to get a kill with the Bizarre Bargain, a weapon I'm very not good with, and my efforts were repeatedly quashed by a crack pair of snipers on the enemy team. I did eventually manage to headshot one of them, but it was not without hardship. The Sydney Sleeper, thankfully, did not take too long to get a kill with, only a few lives and a lot of waiting around for body shots. Then I got a sick, nasty air shot kill on the Pyro with the Carbine. And finally, I decided to cash my last remaining 2-4 SOS for a victory lap using the last few sniper melees, earning my final belt notches with the Shaw, Tribalman Shiv, and Bushwalker in that order. Oh yeah, and I forgot to get a kill with the Classic, so here's that one in post. All things considered, Sniper took a combined 29 minutes and was a perfect middle-of-the-road experience. For someone as bad at Sniper as me, I could definitely see this being much more difficult. Sniper wasn't the worst or least fun by any stretch, and I'd rather do this with him again over someone like Engineer or Medic. So, there we have it. I got one kill with every weapon in TF2 over the course of about a day and a half. Here's some data. The quickest class by far was Spy, or the second to last class we played, and the slowest was Scout, or the first class we played. It seems like I warmed up and got into the groove as the challenge went on, with later classes being significantly faster than the earlier ones. In order, the top 9 from slowest to fastest were Scout, Pyro, Soldier, Medic, Engineer, Sniper, Heavy, Demo Man, and Spy. In terms of fun factor, I found Medic and Engineer to be easily the least enjoyable, as they're not exactly designed around getting kills on their own, whereas Spy, Demo, and Soldier were among the most fun. Classes designed to secure kills and defeat enemies are naturally better suited to a challenge like this than support classes or specialists. The combined length of the challenge, with load and queue times, respawns, menus, and AFK moments included, was around 5 hours and 5 minutes of my time. So my final thoughts are, this was fun. I'm not sure if I'd do it again anytime soon, and I found the actual difficulty of each individual section to be entirely dependent on the state of the match and quality of the enemy team you get matched up against, but as a one-time experiment, this is a fun way to get some time and kills out of every class in the game using weapons I don't often tend to use otherwise. If you want to try it, see if you can beat my time. Again, it took me 5 hours and 5 minutes, all said and done. Thanks, hope you all have a fantastic day before, during, and after watching, and I'll catch you all later. Cheers!